Hi there, Melinda here with you today. Thanks so much for taking the time out to stop by my channel. I've got a Project Life Share for you today. It's our week 18 and I've started with using the Midnight kit and some cards from that. I've decided to pair that with some of the Cocoa Vanilla, one of the boy ranges, I can't remember what it's called. I just decided to use my stash and off I went. You can see here that I've got this in super fast forward mode. This title card, I always start my Project Life pages with my title card. I just find that it sort of gives me an idea of what I want to use and where I want to go with the spread. But I actually really struggled with this card, so I have sped it up a heap, and you can see me going through all of the bits and pieces that I have pulled together. Oh, that's the Cocoa Vanilla range I used. It's made of Awesome. So you can see I'm just pulling bits and pieces and playing with things, and I do completely change this card up, and I'm much happier with how it turned out. That pink was really throwing me to start with, but I don't really have a problem using pink on our Project Life layouts, especially because I live here. It's not just a life about my husband and my children, it's about the four of us. So there's pink and there's flowers and then there's boy things, and I'm good to go with whatever. So I've got all these print and cut tags here. That's what I'm flipping through in that little bowl. They're print and cut tags that I've got, I think, from Caitlin Schaefer. And I've just resized them a tiny bit so they fit onto an A4. Since I'm in Australia, we use A4, not 8.5 by 11. And printed them and then run them through my Cameo so that I didn't have to fussy cut them, because I don't like fussy cutting. I am pulling some of these ephemera pieces, some things that I wasn't sure that I would ever even use. And since this is week 18, it is in May, and I use an arrow to point at the 5 on that dial thingy. I forgot what it's called. And I also pull out a little 5. It's just below that flare badge there. It is a number 5 on wood grain. I just thought I would reiterate the 5th month thing that I've sort of got happening. I ended up somehow with, I think, 4 packets of these stickers by Amy Tan. I love them. I love the colour, I love the size, I love the shape, I love the font. So I guess I'll use them eventually, and if not, they can sit there and look cute in the box that I keep them in. You can see here I changed my mind with what I was going to do with that tag, and instead of trying to find something to replace it, I just flipped it over and used the other side. Just adhering all my bits and pieces down. And then this card is done. I was so pleased to see the end of it. I really struggled putting this one together. But that's okay. So I've slowed it down a bit, I think. And then I've sped up all of the journaling parts, I think 8 times, just because I do lots of writing, and it just made more sense to speed up those bits because you can't really read or see anything. So again, I've used these awesome stickers by Amy Tan. I really love them, obviously. This is my little guy. He got some new shoes and was so excited. He just loved them. There's another photo on the same layout of him wearing, I think he's got a nappy. No, he's got jocks and a t-shirt on and the shoes. He just would not take them off. It was so funny. So sticking that down, adding a couple of embellishments. These little chevron shapes are from a layout I did last year sometime. I used one of the papers as a background and used my Cameo to cut a cut file on it, and I kept all the little chevron pieces knowing that one day I would use them, and the day has started to happen. I used some on this Project Life page. I decided to add a couple of staples to that card with the shoes, so I went back to my title card, added a couple of staples there just to keep the continuity, that's the word, across the whole page. This is the photo that I was just talking about with the no pants, but the shoes. It was hilarious. This kid cracks me up. So I did want to put a little bit of journaling on there, and I ummed and ahed about covering up more of the photo. And as you'll see, I ended up using, I think, one tag, possibly two, and I just cut it up into pieces and include it on 3 staggered labels there. I intentionally made them so they weren't straight, so that they looked like they were meant to be, not straight. Because if I tried to put them straight, they would have gone on crooked. So I'll just trim that down, and then I will fast forward through the journaling. I so wish I could write this fast. It would be awesome. On to the next card, which is all just journaling. While this is happening, if I've been trying to decide how much of my process you guys might like to see. So if you're keen on seeing my process from start to finish, I can do like a series and start with this is where I start, and then I do this, and then I do that. Otherwise, I can just keep sharing some Project Life process videos if you like them. So please let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see, because I'm trying to come up with something, but I don't want to bore you with something that you're not interested in. So I'm just back to what I'm doing, just finishing off some more journaling. As I said, I do write a lot. My albums are very journal heavy, but it's the stories that I have to tell, and I just want them told. And the amount of times that I've gone back through my previous albums and read something I've written and gone, oh, I forgot about that. Or one of my boys has asked me, what's this about, Mum? Why did you take that photo? What does this say? It's just priceless, and it's things that we wouldn't remember otherwise. So I've just pulled another of my tags here, and I decided that I only wanted a little tiny bit of that green showing, so just trimming it down. For a girl that doesn't like fussy cutting, I've sure been doing a lot lately. I got some new stamps from Felicity Jane a little while ago, and I just love them, and I pulled all 3 of them out and was using them on this layout. So on to the next one. One of these stamp sets has got a little tiny alphabet, which is just so cute. You can see it down the bottom of that one on the desk still. It's really cute. And I use that to spell out a few things on this double page spread. I think this is where I use the letters, but I stamp that little arrow label thing first. Trying to be better at cleaning my stamps before I put them away. One has to start somewhere. I used to be really, really good at it, like really good at it. I would use a stamp and clean it and put it away, and now not so much. I have something else to do. So yeah, I think I'm spelling out funny to go on a photo of my boys. They both insisted how not tired they were on a long drive home after a weekend away, and then they both fell asleep in the back seat. It was so funny. Just trimming that down, and I attach that straight to the photo with some more of those little chevron bits. That's a pile of them just above that washi tape there. So you can see they're both sound asleep. We're not tired, Mum. I just attach all of those using my roller adhesive. It's a little dot one. I think that's what I've done for most of the stuff on this page. I did do it a little while ago, and I'm only just getting the chance to go back and do the voiceover now. This is a filler card, I believe, and boy, I struggle with it big time. Like, seriously struggle with it. I could have probably saved you some of the torture of watching it, but I don't. I leave it all in here and then cut to it when I get to the point that I've had enough, and I turn the camera off, and then I came up with something, and then I come back with the finished card, which is completely different. It ends up that those black spots are completely throwing me, and I really wanted to carry the black spots from one side to the other, but it just wasn't happening for me. I think I flipped the oh, no, I think I find a new card. And it's just a plain grid card from memory. No, it's got it does have the spot on it. It's one on the bottom right, I think. I'm gonna cut off here in a second and then come back with a card that's all done. So there we go. That's my finished filler card that's going on the right hand side. As you can see, I've just used a couple of bits from the ephemera pack, I think, some stamps, some more of those chevrons, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. Getting rid of those big, really bold spots seemed to do the trick for me. Moving on to the next card, I think again, yeah, I spell out something. I have no idea what. Sorry for my big head. I thought that I'd cut this out, but apparently not. I have sped it up a lot, so it's not too bad. And then more journaling. Man, it would be nice if I could actually write that fast. I would get so much done so quickly. I think I put a little bit of embellishing on this one. No, it must be the other one. As you saw there, I just used some whiteout. I made a mistake. And I'm not going to start all over again. I just sort of went, meh, I will just use the whiteout. I stamp this out, and then I think I cut it out, and then I can't make it. I think then I jump to my journaling, and then I decided that that little tab thing is not quite right, and then cut it down some more from memory. So some more ephemera, just a big star. I like stars, what can I say? That is a photograph of me in some new clothes. If you don't know me very well, I have lost 21 kilos, and I still often get caught in the where I used to be and not where I am. So it's always really exciting for me when I do buy new clothes in a smaller size and they actually fit. So I took a photo the first time I wore, I think that's a jumper and new jeans. Back to the stamps, I think. I think I'm just seeing what few finishing touches I can add on. Or maybe not. Maybe I still have I still have a few cards to work on. I'm actually working on the photos that are still in the pocket page above my workspace there. You know, when an idea strikes and you're in the middle of doing something else and you sort of go with it. Oh, this is the journaling about the cakes. So down the bottom of this spread on the right hand side, I've got a photo of each of my boys with these cupcakes that a friend made for another friend's baby shower. My kids were so excited that I was able to bring cupcakes home for them. I actually ended up changing this card around. I put my journaling on and then realised I've got a fair bit of space at the bottom. So I moved the title of the card to down the bottom and change it, and I put it on and I take it off and then I put it back on. Again with those awesome Amy Tan stickers. Oh, I stamped something in the little tab label thing. And something else. I have no idea what that says. That's okay. So I decide that cake doesn't work and I change it out for cupcakes. Because they were so excited. It was so funny when I brought them home. I'm going to add a couple more chevrons to each of the photos of my boys with their cakes. I mean, look at the grin on that face. It's so funny. He's got icing around his face and he's so excited. So I'll add my couple of chevrons to these with pop dots. And then I think I record going back through and putting some enamel dots on, but I could be incorrect. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, I'm just going to stamp one of the love stamp and use a circle punch to cut that out and stick that and another little orange embellishment with that on my rainbow photo. I love rainbows. I always get a photo of the first rainbow that I see, and oftentimes more than just the first rainbow that I see. I really love them. They remind me very often of what life can be like. You know, one minute it can be stormy and then the next minute there's a beautiful rainbow. So, and it's just the natural beauty that this earth has to give us. We're pretty lucky most of the time, especially here. Enough of the sentimentality though, and looks like I'm doing some date stamping, because I'm sure in 20 years time it's really going to matter that happened on the 23rd and not the 22nd, but that's okay. It's one of the things that I do all the time. It's going to cut to the close-ups in a minute, so thank you so much for stopping by. Please do leave me a comment if you'd like to see more of my process or just more process videos of our project life. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a fantastic day. I'm off to retreat this weekend, so hope to get some more project life happening. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you very soon. I have a couple of design team things coming up, and I can't wait to share them. So thank you again. See ya.